Welcome to Good Movies and Music, everybody, and welcome to my first ever movie reaction. And before we go any further, you should definitely hit that subscribe button because this is going to be the first of many movie reactions that we do here. And here's why you should subscribe. I'm a filmmaker myself. I've written, directed, and acted in a couple of short films, as well as doing cinematography on a few other short films. And I'm also a lifelong movie fan. I come from a movie-watching family. Every weekend we were either renting something from the local video store, or we were at the movie theater. Friday nights was pizza and a movie at my house growing up. So yeah, when it comes to watching movies, I'm kind of using two brains at the same time. I have my filmmaker analytical brain where I'm constantly just analyzing and breaking down the story and the story decisions in a movie, as well as the technical aspects of that movie. But I also have my film fan brain where I just like to kind of relax and let the movie wash over me, really just kind of get immersed in the movie experience, really feel the movie. I feel like that's an important part. The experiential part of cinema is a really important part. I would argue as important, if not more, than the thinking aspect. I feel like generally the first time you watch a film, you're mostly feeling that film. It's not until second or third viewings when you're actually really actively thinking about it a lot of the time, if it's a good movie. If you're thinking a lot about the movie the first time you're watching it, it's probably not doing a good enough job of making you feel things. So yeah, I feel like I have a good perspective, I think a unique perspective, as somebody you'd want to watch a film with. And I'm always going to give my honest opinion. I think that's important, but I'm also open-minded and I root for a film to be good. So I'm not here to bash any films. I don't like the idea of trashing movies because I know how much work goes into making them. But again, I am going to be honest. So if I don't like a film, I'm going to say so, but I'm going to tell you why. And if I love a movie, then of course I'll also tell you why. But yeah, why would you sit down to watch a movie expecting not to like it? That's just totally the wrong way to watch a movie, and life's too short for that. But that's enough about me. Let's go ahead and talk about the movie that we're here to watch today, and that's Aquaman. So this film is part of the DC Extended Universe franchise of films, which started with Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. I've been mostly just kind of a casual follower of these films. I think I've watched about half of them at this point, and I've enjoyed them all to varying levels. The notable exception for me would be Birds of Prey. I absolutely love that film. I think if you're going to do dark and gritty, which the DCEU is known for, but you also want to do some comedy, this movie cracked that code perfectly. It's essentially just an R-rated Looney Tunes cartoon, but as a live-action, Batman universe film. And I thought that was the perfect tone, the perfect blend of humor, and just, the dark, grim aspect that we're used to from the DCEU. But that was a perfect blend of that. So these are the DCEU films that I have watched. I watched Man of Steel, I watched Batman v Superman, which, by the way, I watched at the Chinese theater in Hollywood, and that was the way to watch it. It looked and sounded phenomenal. I've also watched Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984, and of course, like I said earlier, Birds of Prey. So I haven't watched Suicide Squad, Justice League, Shazam, or Aquaman, which is what we're here to watch today. And I wanted to watch Aquaman because this week we're getting the long-awaited Snyder cut of Justice League. Obviously, the theatrical version, Zack Snyder didn't get to complete it because he had to step away from the film, and it was completed by Joss Whedon, and a lot of fans didn't really like the film. I myself never went to go see it. Like I said, just because I've been a casual fan of this franchise, I haven't felt the need to watch every film in this franchise, but especially this one in particular with Justice League, I always just feel like, whether or not you're a fan of Zack Snyder in particular, I think if you're a fan of filmmaking and filmmakers in general, that you should want a filmmaker to be able to see his vision all the way through and get to finish his film. So the fact that he started work on that film but didn't get to finish it, it just kind of felt like it was always going to be an incomplete film. It wasn't going to be his vision entirely. So I'm kind of glad that they came out with this version, that we at least get to see it through with what he originally had intended. So I'm looking forward to that. But before I got into that, I did want to see Aquaman since he's part of the Justice League, obviously. Just basically trying to fill in some gaps in my knowledge of this franchise. So that's what we're here to do, and without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. This is going to be my reaction to Aquaman, starring Jason Momoa and Amber Heard, directed by James Wan. Let's go. 1985. Is Aquaman a millennial? Wow. So these are his parents. So Aquaman is a millennial in this. That's kind of weird. Nicole Kidman? That dog was super chill up until now. The dog's a pretty good actor. Good timing. Little Lovecraft reference there. These costumes look pretty dope though. Wow. Yeah, I'm really digging those costumes. Nice. The CGI was a little sketchy. You could kind of see the seams, but still pretty cool sequence overall.
Where I come from.
Isn't all that great? My automobile is a piece of crap.
Don't let him forget me.
So far I'm really liking the costume design. Her costume and then those guys that came in, busted through the door. So far this movie has really strong transitions. I love a good creative transition. Like, more movies need to do that. It shows an attention to detail, you know? Is he gonna have shark eyes? So far this movie feels really like throwback to 90s style blockbusters. Like knowingly campy and just bright and colorful and really going for it. Again with the costumes, these are some really good costumes. What we got here? Hey, I watched Watchmen. He was really great in that.
He gave it to me when I was your age. And now it's your son. That's not a man.
Oh, that was pretty cool. That was a, what do you call that move? The dolly zoom? Made famous by Martin Scorsese and Goodfellas. Not invented by, but I would say popularized by. Can take bullets, but can he leap tall buildings in a single bound? That's a fighting style. Just ragdoll people. What was that? What was that frame rate that, sorry, not frame rate, that shutter speed technique? Just give him a little slap. This brings up a good question. When in the DCEU timeline is this taking place? It's like those guys just straight up knew about Aquaman. Like, does everybody know about him, or is it just that, like, sailors and Navy people know about him? Aquaman's gonna kill your dad. That's gonna be why he really wants to get Aquaman. I don't know, I have a hard time believing that a DC hero or a superhero should just leave a guy to die like that. Something rubs me the wrong way about a hero just leaving somebody to die, even a bad guy, like, especially when they're called the Justice League, right? Justice is, bringing criminals to justice, you stop their plan, you apprehend them, and then, you give them their day in court, their due process. Unless it's a point they're trying to make and it's going to come back in some way that he's going to realize that was wrong. But so far the tone of this, it doesn't feel like he's going to come to that conclusion. That doesn't feel like what this story is about so far. He changed his tune once he had a little bit of a drink.
Kings. Atlan's time, 7 kingdoms were one.
So far the costume design and set design are probably my favorite aspects of this. That double little instant replay there. Let's show it from 2 different angles.
You are the firstborn son of Queen Atlanta. The throne is yours by birthright.
As far as I'm concerned, Zazie Beetz is Queen Atlanta. I just realized she's the exact color scheme as Ariel from The Little Mermaid. One thing I'm really liking about this movie is just how bright and colorful it is. So vivid. Same with Wonder Woman. Like, these are good looking movies.
A natural disaster or something else.
No, this was no natural disaster. They threw out our...
The Randall Park.
We already have an Atlantean living among us, and his name is Aquaman.
Randall Park makes everything better. So pretty. I'm liking that this portrayal of Atlantis, the capital anyway, has this like sort of wreckage vibe to it. Like maybe it was above water at some point. Like they're definitely not in the golden era, the golden age of this empire. They're definitely on the downswing.
When the kingdoms of Atlantis were one.
Okay, I was right about it. They were an above water kingdom in their glory days.
I suppose you want to talk about this.
Underwater astronaut ninjas. I'd love to see it. They did it again, that little double. Let's show it from two different angles.
Recognize me. I know you. What you're doing flies in the face of everything your mother taught us when we were children.
The light and color in this is so trippy. This must have looked gorgeous in the movie theater, especially on IMAX. Would have been great.
Ring of fire, huh? How's it work?
I fought for my kingdom in a burning ring of fire. They don't like him. Under the sea.
Never thought I'd... She wouldn't be that.
Amber Heard has outfits for days in this movie. Like, are those are straight up jellyfish, right? Are they attached to her dress, or are they just kind of following her? Oh, that was dope. They got Gallagher'd. What's going on here? Who's interfering? That was a little premature. I think he could have staged a comeback there. I don't think he was totally out. Why does she feel so strongly about him in particular? Why does she think Arthur would be a better leader than his brother? Like, this guy doesn't seem ideal. Seems like a bit of a jerk, but at least he knows the Empire. Not only does Arthur not know the Empire, he doesn't really even seem that interested in knowing it. Interesting dynamic.
Close to getting punched in the face.
Look, Fight Club. I know you're new to how things work up here.
Aquaman's just coming with all the pop culture references, isn't he? It's like referencing Fight Club. What did he reference earlier? Pinocchio.
Thank you for repeating what I just said.
It's completely dried out.
I just realized that Jason Momoa and John Hamm have the same voice. And that's weird. I'm really digging this costume. Holy crap. That's wild. I can't believe, like, for as grounded as a lot of the DC films try to be, this costume is just wild. I'm loving it. I can't believe they just went full comic book with it. I don't know the comic book history of Black Manta. Is he a straight up villain in the comics, or is he an anti-hero?
I can't let you die trying to turn me into something that I'm not.
You think you're unworthy to lead because you're of two different worlds. But that is exactly why you are worthy. You are the bridge between land and sea.
She makes a compelling case. I never see where she's coming from. Everybody's coming after them right now. They can't catch a break. I'm liking this creature design. The strongest part of this movie so far is just the design overall. The production design, the sets, the costumes, the looks of these creatures, and the looks of the characters overall. It's just a gorgeous movie to look at. Oh, the action scenes too. There's some inventive stuff going on with these action scenes. Really fun. Oh, that looks really cool. Wow, that's great. That looks awesome. terrifying too, if you think about it. Man, the DCEU's strength is just the visual flair. It just, there's that YouTube channel, and it's from an expression, every frame of painting. These DC movies, it's almost every frame a comic book panel. You know what I mean? I admire the audaciousness of it. Dinosaurs? Did we just enter Jurassic Park? I am down for adding dinosaurs to this movie. Hell yeah. Oh, this is gonna be Nicole Kidman, isn't it? Yep. Very cool. Say something, it's getting awkward. I can't be too mad at Nicole Kidman. If I had an island full of dinosaurs, I wouldn't leave either.
It lies beyond the waterfall.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. The golden arches. That was psychedelic. There's the comic book costume. This movie is so campy. Like, I hope they had as much fun making this as it looks, Whoa. Okay, we're doing it then, huh? Just big underwater creature battle. I can dig it. This has all been one take for a while, hasn't it?
Call me Ocean Master.
Who's this big boy? Whoa. Nice. The visual spectacle. I can't remember the last movie that I watched that was just this balls to the walls crazy with big colorful spectacle like this. Wow. I could have just done 2 hours of this, Oh, I'm digging the score too, that very like synthesizer-y score. Those orcas? If those are orcas, man, the scale of this battle is huge. Because they looked tiny in that shot. Ooh, powerful narwhals.
Last time he was in his element. This time, make him fight in yours.
You're out of your element, Donnie. I'll be honest, I don't really believe their romance. I feel like it was just minimal as set up as possible. But this is a pretty cool shot, so I'll take it. That mask is very reminiscent of when he was Night Owl in Watchmen.
But I'm not one of you.
Do it! Hail to the king!
What do I do now?
Be their king.
This is gonna be fun.
She's gonna be there at the end of the dock. I never noticed Dad has the same tattoos as Arthur.
I am Aquaman.
Every frame a comic book panel. So that was Aquaman. This movie, I feel like it was a perfect encapsulation of everything that the DCEU has been to this point. It had a lot of the strengths of the DCEU. It delivers big action spectacle and just stunning, gorgeous visuals. It's just fun to watch. The costume design, the set design, it all just looks really fun and really stunning. But it also has what I consider a lot of the flaws of the DCEU, which is just characters and characterization. And like, no disrespect, these are all talented people, and it takes a lot of hard work to make a film, especially something as big as this. But man, just if DC could find a way to just bring the characters a little more to life, like just make them a little more human, you know? It's just, there's something about them that just doesn't feel quite right. They feel a little too archetypal and just not human enough, you know? I think for a lot of people who don't like superheroes, one of their big complaints is that they just feel that these stories are just power fantasies, that these characters are just some vicarious fantasy, right? But for me, what I always loved about the superheroes that I'm a fan of is not that they were powerful. That wasn't the appeal. The appeal was that despite the power, they were still these flawed humans at the end of the day. It's the flaws that make these characters, not the powers. The powers are incidental. The powers are something that actually a lot of the time is an obstacle to these characters reaching their potential. It's why Spider-Man was my favorite superhero growing up, and why he's a lot of kids' favorite superhero. With great power comes great responsibility. That line resonates, even for kids, especially for kids. The best superhero stories are aspirational. They teach us that we can strive to be better and to do better despite our flaws, and in some ways because of our flaws. And in a way, this movie paid some lip service to that, but at the end of the day, he let that guy die at the beginning of the movie, and it was never even addressed after that. He never even had a second thought about it, never had to question if that was the right thing to do, like not even an ounce or a speck of guilt about it. And that rubs me the wrong way, you know? That's just, how can this movie, you know, around the climax and after the climax, you know, pay lip service to the idea of being a hero? You know, Nicole Kidman tells him, you know, we don't need a king, we need a hero. What kind of hero just leaves people to die? You know, like that's not heroism. You know, I'm not saying superhero stories should moralize and that there should be and this is what we learned at the end of the movie. I'm not saying they have to be that sort of after school special type of story where there's a moral at the end. I'm not saying that at all. But if you're gonna at least pay lip service to some of these ideas, like, you know, just put a little more thought into it. You know, like, don't let your hero just like selfishly let people die, and like so casual about it too, you know? I'm fine with anti-heroes. I'm fine with protagonists who are just straight up villains, you know? Some of my favorite stories have protagonists who aren't heroes, you know? Breaking Bad comes to mind. You know, so many good movies. I recently watched the show Vice Principals on HBO, and that's basically a show about two villains in a way, you know? So I'm not against that at all. It's just a matter of like, it's hard to juggle those ideas. It's two competing ideas of grand action spectacle, heroism, and you know, morality and ethics, and you know, what are the implications of these decisions. It gets messy. But anyway, yeah, I'd really be interested in your thoughts on this. Am I just overreacting? Am I taking it too seriously? I don't know. I mean, I had fun overall. I don't want to make it seem like that killed the movie for me, because it didn't. It was a fun movie. It was just a, you know, I don't know, it's kind of a sketchy decision story-wise and character-wise for Aquaman there. But that last battle, wow, I had a lot of fun with that last battle. Like I said when I was watching it, I could have just done 2 hours of that and that would have been fun. Just pure spectacle. Yeah, that would have been, I regret not seeing that on an IMAX screen, you know? But anyway, at least I got to watch it here with y'all. So again, let me know what you think in the comments about Aquaman, about my thoughts on Aquaman. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe for more movie reactions. I'm going to be doing a lot of these, all kinds of movies too, action, horror, comedy. And I'm also doing album reactions. This is also a music channel, not just a movie channel. So if you're into music, stick around for that as well. So like I said, yeah, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. But until next time, this has been Good Movies and Music. My name's AJ. Thanks for watching and have a good day.